Hey, Joel, you remember when you said this?
The first is, I'm not sure exactly what advice the left is giving to young men that is brain dead.
Well, I present Exhibit A.
99% of feminists I follow are wholly unwilling to talk about the fact that younger men are not having sex. Again, I am convinced that men just simply don't listen.
I do find it interesting that you and I are of two opposing persuasions because I'm convinced that men listen too much.
We have been talking about this. We just might not be talking about it in the way in which you would like us to.
My friend, if it appears that men and feminists are talking past each other, perhaps then feminists need to change what they're saying. Because otherwise, what would happen is you guys will be continuing to talk past each other.
I have already covered this in several videos as to why young men are having less sex on average.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have. But as much as people cover it, people just don't distill it to it's obvious answer. Okay, so here's just the obvious answer. A lot of women are remarkably arrogant. And they believe that they deserve more than is otherwise even reasonable as an expectation to young men, particularly the women that made it out of high school without having a little sweetheart, or made it out of college without having a little college sweetheart. So women that enter into the dating world without being in a relationship prior to that required less expectations have greater expectations of the men they need now. And the reason why is because there are greater problems and burdens. So here's a brief explanation. I meant to make a video on this one day. I probably still will. I probably will recover this in the future. But essentially, in high school and college, usually like when you start dating, there's less expectations that are required of you as a teenager because there's just really not much you guys can do. The best you guys can really do is like go to the mall, go to the movies, go to the park, volunteer. There's not much you can do. Just go to each other's house. But you're not taking care of her. She's being taken care of by her family. So if you were the high school sweetheart, there is a long investment there already. So you don't need to be the super ultra mega dude in high school because the expectations that kept you there to maintain that relationship into adulthood were always low. Now, you trickle that into college, there are a little higher expectations, but it's still not the same. You don't really need to pay rent or pay mortgage or kind of have a house or be super fit or do any of that stuff. However, in college, things are a little bit different. The expectations are still a bit low, but the hopes are a bit higher. So you're still not expecting like rent being paid and stuff like that. You're not really expecting all that goofy stuff. You're still just kind of being ruled by a dude being handsome. And since a lot of ladies and young men sometimes think that this is an opportunity to just be promiscuous, what they want a long-term partner is not being sought out for in a college environment, when ironically that's really the best time it should be, because it's the last time you really be in a group with a bunch of people, but I digress. Point is, if they don't make it out of college with a husband, they then go into their adult life with even higher expectations. And sometimes they can be traumatized from their previous experiences. And so they can have a bit of an inflated ego to where they have higher expectations and a bigger ego that's already been bruised. They don't want bruised again. And they want more from men when they otherwise really shouldn't. Because there's just not going to be enough men that are going to meet the expectations that they set up.
I'm tired of being a broken record, so I'm going to just say it. Y'all are not getting it because y'all are not doing what y'all need to do.
Yes, that's because women are remarkably arrogant. They have these traditional expectations of men, but none of themselves. They have these really high, shallow expectations that men are handsome and attractive. Sometimes they maintain it for themselves. Sometimes I really don't. With makeup, things get a little more complicated. I meant to make a video where I kind of talked about this just directly. But for now, the best way to describe this problem, just to distill it simply, is that women are really, really arrogant. Like, they think that they are Mjolnir. Okay, whosoever holds this wop, if he be worthy, will possess the powers of Thor. Right? Like, that's how they view themselves, right? Or rather, they view themselves as if only the once and future king of Britain can gaze upon their visage, let alone can have a relationship with them. So that's one of the biggest problems. Like, women's inflated ego, they're really arrogant and they just have high expectations that are a lot of the times either really frivolous or just not possible to maintain. Sometimes it's contradictory, but we'll have to go into detail about that in a future video. So, yeah, that's the problem in a nutshell, really.
Does your room or your house look like a pigsty? You think some person's gonna come in there and go, yes, I would like to drop my pants now? Are you one of those weirdos that's obsessed with working out because you think it makes you a bigger, better man? Do you engage in locker room talk with your boys and never correct them on the misogynistic crap they say?
You know, I was thinking about this the other day, actually. So, which one's more powerful? Excalibur or Mjolnir, right? Because like, if you go on the Fate lore, right, like, Excalibur has, like, several different, like, rungs of power that are, like seals that, like, present, that like, stops it from using its power to its fullest, right? You know, like, there's certain restrictions that are required. But at the same time, like, Mjolnir, like, I don't know how Mjolnir's power based on the lore and Marvel kind of stacks up. I actually think Excalibur might be a little bit more powerful than Mjolnir, but I also do kind of, like, wonder, like, what would happen if you, like, put them head to head. I think Excalibur would win. Yeah, I think Arturia might actually be able to beat Thor. I wonder, could Arturia beat... Wait, hold on. We're supposed to be doing a video response. What did you say?
Because y'all are not doing what y'all need to do.
Oh. Men aren't doing enough, right? You know, men aren't, going to the gym, ripping their muscles asunder, trying to get a nice aesthetic body, and they're not hustling a lot, and they're not literally changing their mindset, changing the way they talk to women, changing their confidence level and working on their mental health. Men just absolutely aren't doing enough for women, as they literally change every aspect about themselves to finally be worthy of being loved by them. Is that what you're about to tell me? They're not doing enough?
Does your room or your house look like a pigsty?
Here's something funny about that, right? Really doesn't matter. I don't know if you guys watch this video of mine. I hope you do. It'd be great for continuity. But there's this one woman who always starts her videos with this.
I came out as a lesbian later in life, but up until that point, I only dated men.
And she found herself going on several dates with the guy. And the crescendo of the story is that the guy makes poopies and pees in his basement. In other words, the fact that he was an absolutely filthy person did not come up in the conversations while they were courting and dating. If he had just shut the fuck up, he probably could have had sex with that woman. But he didn't. He told on himself. What I'm saying is that even though I probably could spend any amount of my time looking for TikToks of women showing the messy bathroom or room of the dude she just got done hooking up with, I don't have the patience to do that. In other words, women don't know your room is messy when they first meet you for a random hookup or when they see you on Tinder. That's not what is stopping these young men from getting into relationships with women. And also, women don't care. It's not all women. It's not all women. It's absolutely not all women. In fact, the lesbian in there, once she found out of that obviously gross, disgusting thing, no longer engaged with them. Fair enough. However, that being put as some advice that you stole from Jordan B. Peterson, by the way, as to why women don't want you is nonsensical. They wouldn't know when they first encounter you. They also wouldn't care if you're Chad or Tyrone enough to give them the dick anyway.
You think some person's gonna come in there and go, yes, I would like to drop my pants now?
Women put up with a lot of unscrupulous character of men in the pursuit of some dick. So, suggesting that it is because their rooms aren't cleaned is why women don't want them, sir, by all means, miss me with that.
Are you one of those weirdos that's obsessed with working out because you think it makes you a bigger, better man?
Don't get me wrong. There are weirdos like that out there. The only problem is that kind of works a little bit more than it doesn't work. So...
You engage in locker room talk with your boys and never correct them on the misogynistic crap they say.
So, just to be clear, women are not only like just these mystical, powerful beings of which you need to be like worthy to possess, but they also seem to be in tune with the Force. And in being in tune with the Force, they can sense whenever you've called out your bros for saying misogynistic stuff. And because of their magical attunement with the Force, and whatever, maybe the Speed Force too, I guess, I don't know, they can tell. And they reject men because they don't call out their friends for their misogynistic stuff. And they can tell that they do that because, once again, they're connected to the mystical energies that binds all 9 realms together.
What was your response when Roe v. Wade was overturned?
Indifference. Why? Because, if you want my honest opinion, I don't think women should need the force of the state to tell them that they shouldn't kill their children inside of them. So, for me, I knew that even the people that passed Roe v. Wade didn't actually think that there was good legal precedent for it. What they wanted was to prevent women from doing unsafe abortions and just having them get killed in back alley areas. So they were like, this is faulty. But if we allow it to be safe, the women won't be getting killed in these back alley abortions. That's actually one of the major reasons why Roe v. Wade was passed, or why the Supreme Court ruled that way. Of course, the problem is when they allowed that to happen, what they suspected or what they hoped was that the amount of abortions would actually go down because there was finally availability. That did not happen. What actually happened was the amount of abortions skyrocketed over the next couple of years, began to taper down, and then never went below the amount of abortions prior to Roe v. Wade. In other words, they didn't get what they wanted at all. They actually were not really fond of abortion. It was just that they didn't want a bunch of women to get killed in their pursuit of getting abortions. Me, I just suggest maybe, now just maybe, women shouldn't be trying to kill their children inside of them. Maybe. But somehow that makes me a misogynist, I guess.
These are all things we've been talking about, but because of the fact that men are so concerned with doing this instead of doing this, everything we say goes right over your head, and you guys can't seem to put 2 and 2 together.
Okay. So I'm going to do the math. So, okay. See if I can remember the equation correctly. Clean your room. Okay. I guess don't be a weirdo, but you should still probably go to the gym. That should probably exist independent of your desire for women. If not the gym, some form of physical exercise, right? Okay. Don't be a weirdo about it, but you should still probably do it. Okay. Fair enough. You should be okay. No, you should be upset that Roe v. Wade was overturned. Okay. And if you do that, and call out the misogynists around you, if you do that, women will like you more, and they will want to have relationships with you and be friends with you. The only problem with all of that is that women have to have a willingness to engage with you from start to finish to know any of that stuff about you. So what's going to make women engage from start to finish?
Dog, we were connecting the dots to make pictures when we were 2. How is it so hard? Are they just not teaching kids anything nowadays? Like, somebody please explain to me why it's so hard for men to just connect the dot.
First of all, that comment is hilariously stupid, because you and I are probably close to the same age, meaning that you and I probably received a similar education. Obviously not one-to-one, but it would be close to each other. As such, if you were taught this, then it would stand to reason that I was also taught this. And if every other man around you is similar to your age, then they would have been taught this stuff. You blithering buffoon. More than that, here's the problem with your math. Okay, I'm just going to say it out loud. Are you ready for this? Women don't care. Okay, you might have some feminist women, right, that will like reject you on any frivolous thing or anything they might think might be a little wee kind of bit misogynistic. Fair enough. They still only would engage if they think that you're attractive. And they still only really would engage if they think that there's some benefit. Okay? Now, of course, this isn't all women. It isn't. It's not every single woman. It's not. It's a lot of women. And because it's a lot of women, and there's more women who are going to get the ick and reject you offhand for any silly goofiness, say that you like playing Mega Man, or you like Pokemon, or you watched Inuyasha growing up, as if she even knows what an Inuyasha is. You say some goofy weeby stuff, even if you say you like Tom and Jerry, right? She'll get the ick. Don't get me wrong, I don't care, like Tom and Jerry, that's a bit of an over-exaggeration. Honestly, it wouldn't put it past me if a woman did say if a man said he liked Tom and Jerry, she'd get the ick. It wouldn't at this point. Long and short of it is, women look to dismiss men quickly. All that other stuff is only something you could learn about someone once you engage with them. If you never engage with them from start to finish, women can't learn to do that to disengage from those men. So their problem is not the fact that they have like low feminist character as you basically described. A lot of men's problem is women won't engage from start to finish. I guess the goofiness of that last statement is I don't even entirely disagree. It just kind of has nothing to do with nothing. So, Joel, my friend, my guy, my buddy, do you see the problem? Do you see the bad advice that's being given to young men? The grandiose advice given to young men is don't be a misogynist, call out other men, clean your room, and don't work out too hard. But I assume that's just not like that's the advice. That's what's presented to them. You see that maybe that having nothing to do with anything when it comes to actually having a relationship with a woman might be the brain dead advice young men are talking about that leftists love to give them. Hopefully you see it. If not, I got more examples coming your way. So that being said, I just hope you guys got something out of today's video. And if you did, go and click the like button. Yeah, shoot. Go click that subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. And as always, you guys have yourselves a great day. I will see you cool cats soon. Adios.